We've all been there. After you get this missing piece, you're ready to shoot your shot. And this is mine. And now I can finally start my YouTube channel because I have the perfect situation.
The perfect metaphor.
And I can finally start.
Move! Get the hell out of the way!
YouTube was always my dream, but the way to perfection always held me back. It was nothing but frustration after frustration. Nothing was ever good enough, and it felt like all my efforts just went into a black hole of nothingness. Then one day, my mind shifted, and it changed everything. And this literally transformed the way I pursue my dream. And that's what I'm sharing with you.
Starting my YouTube channel took me over 5 years, and I didn't even have a single video to show for it. I spent too much time just worrying that everything had to be flawless before I could even begin. And this mindset left me in a vicious cycle of starting and then swapping everything out and starting over again. And this wasn't just affecting my time, it was affecting my confidence and my momentum and the chance to actually do something.
And I have a funny feeling that if you're watching this, you might be in the same place too, because this pressure that's in our heads isn't going away. See, they've done research that suggests it might get even more intense.
The Perfectionist Study.
They used a scale from 1 to 7, where 1 meant not at all perfectionist and 7 meant extremely perfectionist. Back in 1989, the average score for self-oriented perfectionism was about 3.77. By 2016, it had climbed to 4.15. And socially prescribed perfectionism, that's where you feel pressure to meet others' expectation, rose even more, from 2.60 to an astounding huge score of 3.45. And yeah, I rose the screen for dramatic effect, but it's still a 32.69% increase.
Whoa.
So the pressure to meet other standards are only getting more intense. And this isn't just a small shift. It shows that more people are feeling the weight of perfectionism and holding themselves back because of impossible standards.
And there's a strong possibility that all this is linked to the rise of social media. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube allow us to constantly compare our lives to curated, perfect versions of other people. We see perfect vacations, perfect meals, perfect creative projects. And it creates this endless loop of comparison, just making us feel like we're never enough.
You know, I spent years stuck in this cycle of starting and stopping, and I was never feeling ready. I had everything, the cool lights, the drone, the right gear, but I still convinced myself that I needed something, and once I had that perfect setup, I could finally begin. But I still never started. I remember sitting in my room, surrounded by unopened boxes of equipment, just thinking, this is it. And this is gonna change everything. But instead of creating, I just kept planning. I kept tweaking, I kept researching, and while I was caught in this endless loop of preparation, I had friends, some of whom had nothing, just an old phone and a half-formed joke. They just went for it. And now, years later, some of them have millions of views, a thriving career, and an audience that loves them. Meanwhile, I'm over here still thinking about my first video that I never did. And it's at this moment that I realized something. I don't need more gear. I don't need another course. I just need to be okay with being bad at something before I'm good at it. You know, when we think about creativity, we think that it's magical. That's what they literally call it, the magic of creativity. But it's not a magic trick. It's not some mystical force that just appears out of nowhere. It's people trying something and failing. And then trying again and failing again. They're pushing through another impossible failure and doing it anyways. And here's the tough part. You're risking that and people will still look at your work and laugh at it. You're putting a piece of yourself out there. It might not be perfect, knowing that it might be bad, but there's something powerful about that. There's a vulnerability to it. And that's what YouTube thrives on. And that's a good starting point. You do the best you can until you know better, and then you know better, and then you do better. You wanna know what's crazy? Even though I haven't uploaded a single video to this channel yet, I already know that I love this process of creating. I think about it all the time. I breathe it, I dream it. I think of these ideas and scenes and moments that would make great videos. And if you're anything like me, your mind is constantly drifting to these new concepts, to stories, to what ifs of making something. And then you know you don't have ADHD. Okay, you might have ADHD, but you also know that you love this process. But here's what I suspect. I think you and I are in the same boat. And as soon as we put our work out there, as soon as we stop overthinking and start creating, I think this process is only gonna get better. And the truth is, if you wanna be a creative person, all you really need to do is create. The moment you start making things, you've already accomplished that dream. So in a nutshell, the mind shift really is this. A perfect idea locked in your head is worthless. An imperfect creation out in the world is the beginning of something priceless. So this is it. And this is not an Oscar-winning video, but it's my start. And thank you so much for watching this far. If you want to see how this goes, feel free to like and subscribe. I'm going to be committed to this weekly uploading. Hopefully you can see what this little mind shift of mine does for me. Thank you so much.